bitch, I do it for my I suicide by my city. That means when I blow up, I'm taking all of you with me. My first name ain't Byron, but I'm the only.
Welcome guys, and this is LSHD Gaming here, and today I am bringing you guys another video, and what you guys are going to be watching is my Star Wars Battlefront review. This is being all played on the PlayStation 4, and the gameplay that you're seeing in the background is me playing a normal match of Supremacy on the map Hoth. I spend quite a lot of this time in this room, and the score I was going before you saw that kill there, that I killed Luke. I was going 6-4, well now 7-4 as you can see there, I just popped up on the screen, and you guys are going to love this gameplay. It is not one of my best gameplays, but it is still a very good one. It's back and forth, the enemy team keeps going for points, and personally I go off. So you should enjoy this, and I'm going to bring more Star Wars Battlefront content your way. One thing I will leave out of this review is my review on the Battle of Jakku, the free DLC. That will be in a separate video where I will actually be playing that map itself for the background. But I may mention upon it, but my in-depth review on that will be in a separate video. Anyway, on to the review of Star Wars Battlefront. I'm going to start off with the positives, because there are so many. As there are negatives, I suppose, as well, but we'll start with the positives. And the first positive, which I think you'll be able to see in the video, is just how incredibly beautiful this game is. It is extremely realistic looking, and that is because of their new photogenic way that they have set up the game, and that was definitely something that they set out right at the beginning to achieve, was to make this the ultimate Star Wars looking game and feel, so you can immerse yourself in the gameplay, which you can. I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan, love them to death, cannot wait to see the new film in a day or two, and this, just every time I play you feel like you're in the Star Wars universe, and you just can't deny them that, and that was what they set out to achieve. Now it's just one thing that they did speak upon, which is a negative, which I'll speak more about, is the fact that there isn't what people would say loads of maps compared to something like Call of Duty, where they have so many maps. The reason for that being is, in my personal opinion, is because they've gone for the fact that they want to make it photorealistic, and in doing so you have to make sure that you visit these places to do the photorealism, which is what they want to do. So they just physically can't go to all the places, including one is now under ISIS control, that land, so they can't visit that. Well, they could, but it might be dangerous, I don't know. They might have done, we'll have to see for the season pass. But at the end of the day, they've set out to achieve a game where you can immerse yourself in the Star Wars universe and make it look exactly like Star Wars. And you cannot argue that this game doesn't look exactly like Star Wars. Arguably the best graphical game on consoles right now for realism. Right, next, the sound is incredible. Once again, when you immerse that with the graphics of the game, and you hear the sounds of the blasters going off, and the grenades and all sorts, even little details that they use, DICE, that they've done perfectly, like when you go underneath the squad shield, the sound changes. When you shoot at the squad protector thing, I'm forgetting the name for it now, which is embarrassing, but each sound it has is very unique, and you can't, question that. I think they've done that absolutely fantastic. Okay, I will say some of the voice characters are slightly dodgy, such as Han Solo, and when he comes in it's a little bit creepy, I'll give you that. But for the most part, this game is graphically insane, and audio wise almost spot on, apart from some of the hero characters are a little bit dodgy. But you just can't argue it. It really is just a fact. And anyway, the next positive that I have to touch upon is the fact that when you're playing this game and the game modes, you really do get a sense of each game mode. It is slightly tweaked from the other ones, but in doing so it offers a different experience. So Walker Assault is completely different to when you're playing what I'm playing on the screen now. Supremacy, that is entirely different. And you can feel the little differences in it, and I like that. And the fact that they incorporated small maps for the other game modes, such as Cargo, the normal Blast, which is Team Deathmatch, and all that, that you know, they've really catered for what they were trying to achieve. So you're not going to be playing Blast on a huge map, which is smart. So from an actual standpoint, I love the way they've incorporated smaller versions of the maps, and in some cases completely new maps just for those smaller game types. I think that's absolutely fantastic. But in saying that, I think it's time that we now start looking at some of the negatives of the game. And the first one, of course, is going to be the fact that there isn't loads of maps that you consider compared to other AAA titles that come out. As I explained, it's probably because they were going for the photorealism, but at the end of the day, you still would like more maps, and I think we can, you know, all be in agreement of that. Which is why I'm happy they brought out the Battle of Jakku as a separate map, and free DLC for everybody. I think that was very good, but I'll speak more about that DLC as a whole, not just that. And I think what they really has set out to do was, obviously, as I've said, graphically, oh god, I couldn't even get the word out, graphically make the game look perfect. They've done that, but they needed to bring in more maps. So honestly, I think if they were to do that, they needed to have the Clone Wars in the game, and I don't know if that will be part of the Season Pass. You would hope so, because they've done it in other games. They'd have to obviously create new animations for stuff like droidicas and all that. But, you know, DICE are known for popping out completely new things as DLC. So is it beyond the realm of possibility that they do that? No. Is it likely? No. It's right in the middle of, don't get your hopes up. But it's possible. We just don't know at this standpoint. With 4 expansion packs, it's possible. But the lack of maps can sometimes affect it, because you're stuck playing what is now one map, and you play it twice back to back. They do have balancing issues in the game, which is so frustrating. Like Walker Assault on the map Endor. One Walker Assault, if you were on that team, there is no chance you are winning that game. Even if just one person plays the objective out of those 20, you will not win that game. It's just almost impossible. So balancing issues with that, and some of the weapons, like what you're seeing me now, the DL something or DH something, it's such an overpowered weapon. But in saying that, yes, the weapon itself is overpowered, but it's only overpowered in someone that's good at the game. So I suppose this is another positive I didn't touch on, is there is a skill gap, but it's not a significant one. And what I mean by that is, you can clearly see that there is designed to be a skill gap, and there is a skill gap. You will see the same names pop up, and you will see, oh, he's gone negative again. He always goes negative. Or you'll see that person and go, he's always dominating. And that's just the way it is. There is a skill gap, but it's not huge, because they put stupid things in, like that homing shot. When you're a person going along and someone hits you with that homing shot, what are you supposed to do? That thing travels miles and comes straight at you, and bang, you're dead. And it's the same for the hero characters, but I don't have a problem with that, because the excitement of getting a hero character is rare when you're playing game modes such as Supremacy, and that you don't get it every game. So in that respect, when you do get it, you want it to be overpowered so you can have the fun. So I understand that wholeheartedly. So I don't really have too much of a complaint about it, but it does leave on to another complaint of all these little drops on the map, like these little circle things, and you pick up a smart rocket, proximity bomb, you know, squad shields, all that. I get the point of it, but at some stage it takes away from what their realism is, and it makes you wonder, why did they do the photorealism if they're going to have all these drops over the map? Which is a good question. Like, I don't know if they'd even be able to answer it themselves, because it is a very oddball situation to do that. I like the idea though, I do. But if they're doing that, you'd think they then wouldn't be doing the super realism that they've gone for, and you could have more maps. But you know, it's very tight. I suppose they all have to come down to decisions at the end of the day, and that's what they've ultimately gone and done. But what I'd like is, because the hero characters are so hard to find, you don't know where they're going to pop up. Soon, of course, you will. People will be mapping out where they pop up and how often they pop up and stuff like that. but it's so rare to get the hero characters at some stage, and even then some of the hero characters are way more overpowered than the others. Like if I'm the dark side, you know 100% I'm picking Boba Fett pretty much 90% of the time. He's so overpowered, you'll just absolutely shred with him, absolutely shred. Darth Vader's okay, but you know it can be easy to die, and then you've got others such as the Emperor is just useless, absolutely by far the worst of all of them. Then you have others like Luke, who's actually pretty decent because he can move around faster than Darth, and that's why he can be effective. But maybe a bit more balancing to make people like Emperor Palpatine, you know, a little bit better, because right now it's very rare if someone picks that hero pickup, they're going to choose him, and two, just finding the hero pickup itself is so rare that you would have liked to have thought they'd do another way of doing it, like first person to get a 5 kill streak, and then once he dies, the next person to get a 5 kill streak. But then that does put an emphasis on kill streak, so that's probably not the best idea. But you know, I'm just throwing something out there, something a little bit different that they could have maybe potentially gone with. And I just noticed watching this gameplay in the background that there was a lot of times where it was right down to 30 seconds and things got captured. But from 6 and 4 I definitely went off. But yeah, anyways, that was slightly off topic. Well, not slightly, completely off topic. But you got to feel that sometimes in what they're doing, they were a little bit scrambled, all schizophrenic about stuff, and they didn't really have a complete aim in there sometimes. Like they brought in Fighter Squadron, which is supposed to be their aerial mode. You can't see me doing the air quotes. It's okay, it's fun for a short while. Is it fantastic? No. But I suppose they did give something. Maybe in DLC that they might add in aerial maps at night, you know, outside, which in space, I mean, at night. But you that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's just put a black skin and a bunch of stars around. So really, that is possible. It's very much catered towards the fact of you being noobish, so it locks on. It makes it very simple for you to do what you're trying to do. But at the end of the day, is that necessarily a bad thing? It's doing what they were setting out to achieve. They set out to achieve a Star Wars photorealistic game that appealed to the masses, and it wasn't set out to be a competitive game where you have comp teams. So in that respect, they're doing it. They're doing what they set out to achieve. Yes, it's a very arcade game, but do you enjoy it? I'm sure you enjoyed it when you're playing it. Some people, it's not big enough and long enough, it doesn't have enough variety for them, and I can understand that, I really can. And then on top of that, I've talked a lot about the season pass. I didn't mention the price, $39.99. It's expensive. It's a whole nother game just for the season pass. I'm still going to be getting it because I love this game. I love Star Wars. It's something that I've stopped playing Call of Duty, and if you've watched my channel, you know I'm a competitive Call of Duty player, and I was quite good, and that being sound dickish, modish, but this game is so much more fun that it makes me realise, why do I want to play these Call of Duties, you know? If they could just add more stuff into this Star Wars game, there's no reason this couldn't be one of the best games out there of the year, along with other titles such as The Witcher. It's incredible, and I know they're planning sequels to this because they've already mentioned it. So they're probably going to be likely on the new games, which also brings up my older point. Are they going to bring in the Clone Wars? Because it's almost their last chance to do it. Will they? Won't they? You'll have to wait and see in the season pass. I doubt it. I'd like to think they would. But that's my in-depth review. Would I suggest it? Yes. Bottom of my line. Bottom of my heart. I give this a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Look at that, 66 and 14, turned it on, most kills, most objective. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. See ya!